Oh, hey guys. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be looking into the Bible in the Gospel of Matthew today. I just want to do a devotional and get our day started off right. Um, we're going to be in Matthew chapter 9. Matthew chapter 9. We're going to be reading in verse 9 about the story of how Jesus called one of his disciples, a man named Matthew or Levi. He had both names. But regardless, we're looking at Matthew 9, verse 9. As Jesus was walking along, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at his tax collector's booth. Follow me and be my disciple, Jesus said to him. So Matthew got up and followed him. Later, Matthew invited Jesus and his disciples home as dinner guests, along with many tax collectors and other disreputable sinners. But when the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with such scum?" When Jesus heard this, he said, "Healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do." Then he added, "Now go and learn the meaning of this scripture. I want you to show mercy, not offer sacrifices. For I've come to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners." All right, guys, it's an awesome story. Matthew was an unlikely candidate for a Jewish rabbi to come along and choose him to be his disciple. Um, Matthew was a tax collector, which basically made him an absolute traitor to his people. Everyone looked at him as just the worst of the worst because he betrayed his people to the Romans. Romans were their overlords. The Jews were a conquered people. Romans sent in armies, conquered the Israelites, and there they are. They're stuck in this mess. They don't have military might to get free. Matter of fact, the Jews are hoping the Messiah will come along and set them free from Rome. They weren't concerned about where their hearts were with God. They just wanted to be free of Rome. And here's Matthew, this guy who betrayed his people to take money from them and to basically to steal their property if they couldn't pay their taxes and maybe rough them up a little bit. It was a lot like a gangster, a loan shark. There you go. And so that's Matthew. And when Jesus calls him, he just literally just walks away, leaves behind that lucrative job because he got a cut of all the taxes that he brought in. He was only required to bring in so much, and so if he could get extra out of those people, that meant he got extra. That was his job, and he was good at it, and he left it all to follow Jesus. And so that night he has dinner, and he invites Jesus over, and he invites all the people he has who he can call friends. And these are the disreputable people. It's probably prostitutes, other people who are Roman sympathizers, people who work with the Romans in some way. And it's a room full of disreputable people. And so the Pharisees, who are the religious leaders of the day, they see Jesus having dinner with these people, and they basically just call him out on it. They ask the disciples, "How is it your teacher can eat with these people?" And Jesus calls it like it is. He says, "Oh, I didn't come to heal people who are healthy. I came to heal those who are sick." And I just love the way he brings it at the end here. He says, "I have not come to call those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners." And the implication there is that the Pharisees think they're righteous. If they just think that they're righteous, that means that they really are not. They don't think they're not as good as they think they are. But the people in that room have to acknowledge who they are. The culture screams it out at them all day long. And so they knew they were sinners. And Jesus came for the sinners. And that's step one in the process of salvation, is just admitting that you are a sinner. That's where we all started. And so it takes that humility, that grip on reality that we are indeed sinners, to be able to have God come in and change us. And he makes us righteous because it's his righteousness being put over us like a new suit. And so that's the amazing grace of God. That's what Jesus came to do. I hope this helps you today. It reminds you that you are a sinner, but that you have the righteousness of God if you've surrendered your life to him. So, guys, that's all I got for you. I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.